In almost every GMAT book you can possibly buy, they talk about different methods of solving word problems. And one of the most typical methods that they talk about is backsolving. And I think what a lot of GMAT books fail to do is point out the importance of actually backsolving and perhaps a perfect way or method of actually backsolving effectively. If you look at this example here, the technique that I usually teach people is this way of backsolving where you stay more focused on specifically what they want to know. And in this case, you can see the question, which is how much was invested at the higher rate, is more important than anything else. And because the question is looking for a specific number, when they say how much was invested at the higher rate, I'll just choose an answer choice right away, like perhaps 14,000. So I write down on my scratch page immediately, invest higher rate. And then I take 14,000, which is one of the answer choices. And when I backsolve, what I try to do is I try to read the text in such a way that I can only take in the information I can work with. So in this case, it says a total of 30,000 is invested in 2 investments. I would stop at that point because I could already do something with the 14,000. So I know that there's an other investment. Since the total is 30,000, the other must be 16,000. So then at this point, since there's nothing else I could do, I would keep reading. And it says one of the investments gets 4.5% and the other investment gets 6%. So I put the 6% at the 14,000 and I put the 4.5% at the 16,000. 6% of 14,000 is 6 times 14, which is 84, so 840. And 16,000 at 4.5% is the exact same thing as saying 9% of 8,000. So 9% of 8,000 is 720. So there's nothing else I could do, so I'd keep reading. So it says if the total interest at the end of the year was 1,470, well, my total seems to be a bit too high. It's 1,560. This would tell me I have definitely too much money invested at the 6%. I should lower this a bit. So that would mean that B is too big, A must be my answer. Anyway, once again, to kind of go over this, when you backsolve, what you want to do is make sure that you don't inhale too much text at once. You take things step by step so you don't get confused. Most of the time when people backsolve, they wind up setting up some sort of equation before they get going. In my case, you could clearly see that first I just chose an answer choice. Then as I read the text, I used the answer choice effectively, which led to more and more information until finally I could see if it worked or not. When I got to the end, I saw that this answer was definitely too big, so therefore clearly the correct answer has to be 8,000.